And US President-elect Donald Trump appears keen on launching a simultaneous trade war with America's three biggest trade partners, Mexico, China and Canada. Those three nations alone accounted for more than 40% of the total value of all goods the US imported last year. The move Trump said will be in retaliation for illegal immigration and crime and drugs coming across the border. The punishing tariffs, if enacted, could wreak havoc on America's supply chains and industries reliant on goods from the country's closest trading partners.
As the United States prepares for Donald Trump to take oath as the 47th president on January 20th, 2025, the incoming Trump administration is preparing a list of countries to which it may deport migrants when their home countries refuse to accept them. The countries on the list may not be limited to Turks and Caicos, the Bahamas, Panama and Grenada. Migrants who come from Venezuela, Cuba, China and other countries that are reluctant to accept back people who have emigrated to the United States have long posed an issue for the US authorities, as Trump has promised will be the largest deportation operation in American history. Trump also wants Mexico to accept non-Mexicans who are deported from the US, but Mexico hopes to strike a deal with President-elect Trump to limit the number of third-country deportees it could receive from the US.
Obviously, we stand in solidarity with everyone. But our main purpose is to receive Mexicans, and we hope to reach an agreement with the Trump administration so that in case these deportations happen, they send people from other countries directly to their countries of origin. There is a current agreement with President Biden's administration, where for many of the nationalities, they directly airlift them to their home countries.
A las personas que vienen de otros países.
Elsewhere in Latin America, the Panamanian Foreign Ministry said that the country would not accept migrants of other nationalities. Bahamas has rejected a proposal from the transition team of United States to take in migrants from other countries, saying the Caribbean nation simply does not have the resources to accommodate such a request. Cuba has called the proposal of mass deportation from the US as unrealistic and unfair.
No es realista.
It's not realistic to think there will be mass deportation from the United States to Cuba. But just as important as this, these proposals that have been made seem quite drastic and I would say quite unfair. Pretending to deport tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of Cubans, which are the figures that sometimes are handled, would be uprooting people who have already made their life in the United States.
On the domestic front, California Governor Gavin Newsom stressed the importance of trade with Mexico and immigrant labor, striking a contrast with President-elect Donald Trump's threat of tariffs and mass deportations. Newsom and California Attorney General Rob Bonta have emerged as prominent Democratic opponents of Trump's agenda, pledging to defend the state's liberal policies. The US southern border has become a global crossroads where Mexican, non-Mexican migrants congregate with hopes of crossing into the US, often after making long and arduous journeys across the world. Aarti Rana's report for DD India.